Happy Friday, Mayor Dan Pope with a weekly update. Hope you've had a great week. I guess the highlight of this week was yesterday. I had a chance to deliver my 6th and final State of the City address. I hope you'll go, if you weren't there, I hope you'll go online and at least pull up the PowerPoint slides and look through those. You might want to watch the video. We also will have an appendix with a lot of data there if you want to understand, the sort of the facts behind the facts, so to speak. Great crowd. Thank you to the Lubbock Apartment Association who puts it on so ably and allows us to donate a percentage of those proceeds to a charity of the mayor's choice this year, Casa of the South Plains. Next week, council meeting. I guess maybe the most highest profile item we'll deal with is an item from Lubbock Power and Light. Earlier this week, the Electric Utility Board voted to take the next step towards opting into the competitive market. Let's rewind for a minute. You'll recall that 70% of our electric load moved to ERCOT early or mid-year last year, late last May. We'll move the balance of that load middle of the year next year, mid-2023. And once that's done, then we are in a position where our citizens would be eligible to participate in the competitive market that is ERCOT. Maybe 100 or more kind of different options from where you might buy your electric service in Lubbock. So we'll consider that. The ERCOT's not perfect, we know that, but it is the most competitive electric market in the country. There's some things about it that I think really are compelling, and the council will be considering that next Tuesday. I promised that I would give you a little ARPA update. So remember, that's the American Rescue Plan Act. Those are federal dollars, came in behind the COVID pandemic and to try to help cities and counties. And we received $56 million. The county received about $60 million. And so let me talk a little bit about where our money has gone. First of all, a quarter of that money was in this year's budget, dedicated to police and fire vehicles and to a new public health building. In addition, we've committed dollars to affordable housing. Now, we're not going to own that housing. We're not going to build that housing. What we're doing is helping with infrastructure that will jumpstart some housing efforts in parts of our community where we need new rooftops. And so we're, I think, committed to that. We're trying to harden our technology network. So we're spending a little more than $2 million on cybersecurity technology. The bad guys are out there every minute trying to break into our network, and we're trying to make sure that we're doing right by our citizens with it. We'll partner with the county and Star Care on a diversion center. I'll talk more about that in the future, but that's a mental health emergency room is maybe a good way to say that. We'll do grants for small business, arts, and nonprofits. Details of that will be discussed in our meeting on Tuesday, but I think we're pretty committed to that. Likely we'll invest in job training for probably targeted some of the trades where we've got jobs available. We just need people with the skills to take those jobs. Nursing, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs. I would imagine that we'll invest some dollars in broadband expansion. We're talking to AT&T and to Vexus and to Suddenlink about how they could potentially be our partners in trying to get to better broadband to all of our community, but particularly to parts of our community that don't have that service today. We've slotted some money for homelessness. That's probably a bit down the road. We're still working on our plan there, but likely we'll have some dollars there. I think you'll see us come back and do some more public safety dollars for both police and fire, a number of items related to training, maybe some other items that are on their future budget so we can accelerate and get that done now. And then finally, we've got a little money set aside for parks, probably for our big parks, for McAllister and for McKenzie, the Canyon Lake system, potentially downtown. We've not had a discussion on that, but we don't ever have dollars extra dollars for parks. We could make a big impact there. We're also talking a little bit about utility infrastructure. We've not made a decision there, but even with those placeholders, there's still quite a bit of funding available. So we've got work to do still. and I'll continue to update you on that. Okay, two more things. Next Wednesday, we'll do the ribbon cutting for the airport remodel and improvements. That's exciting. I hope you've been out there to check it out. It's fantastic. Got some good news since we last talked. Southwest announced that they'll resume their direct flight to Denver starting, I think, around the 1st of June. That's good news. Our air service is returning, and we're glad people are traveling again. We're looking forward to seeing business travel pick up a bit. Finally, Tech baseball starts this weekend. They're in Arlington this weekend, but back home for the home opener next Tuesday. The Lubbock Christian guys are off to a great start with baseball. We've got both LCU and Tech softball playing. I know the Lady Raiders are out of town this weekend. I think they're in Florida playing softball. But if you're like me and you look forward to your first baseball game in Lubbock next Tuesday afternoon. So that's all I've got this week. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for your encouragement and your good ideas, your words of prayer. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk next week.